Love is a concept based purely around human emotions, defined as an intense feeling of deep emotion. Shakespeare's Sonnet 116 stated that love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom, and therefore does not alter with time. Is this true? Does the true meaning of love alter with age? The commonly held belief in Brisbane is that love is not easily found throughout all ages. For adults in Brisbane, the social life is small and the friendly independence is evident. Teenagers and young adults alike are portrayed to have missed the true meaning of love, and the easy love we find is meaningless. Knowledge of life in Sydney has shown me that it was only on the odd occasions that my parents would be seen at home on a Saturday night, as adults were dependent on each other to meet new people. The general age for meeting new people in Brisbane tends to fall between the years of 18 and 25 years old. With this being said, is Brisbane's commonly held belief that love is too hard to find an appropriate representation of reality? I partially oppose the commonly held belief in Brisbane that love is too hard to be found, as true love is clearly evident throughout teenage years, but increasingly scarcer throughout ages 25 and above. I had stumbled across my poem by accident whilst reading through an assignment written by my cousin, as he had stated his 5 favourite poems on a list, with Late Night Trading being number 1. Instantly, the name had grabbed my attention, as the little relevance to previous poems in my mind drew me in for closer inspection. That was the main motive for my rejection of the other 4 poems, as they had not stood out in the way Late Night Trading had. It glared at me, as if I had stumbled across it before. The title left me hanging. I didn't have a clue on the plot, or even the author until closer inspection. Upon first glance, I was amazed at the amount of expressions portrayed in such casual ways. I began to think on how this relates to modern day teenagers, in the way it states they would begin their Friday nights chatting up girls at the mall. It instantly brought my mind towards the Queen Street Mall, and the stories I heard whilst growing up through middle school. With my beliefs towards love in Brisbane falling down the path that is easy to find as a teenager and up to 25 years old, but increasingly difficult to find at an older age, I find this poem particularly relevant as it portrays Brisbane's teenagers in the way they truly are. Upon second inspection into the poem, lines 4 to 8 take my attention. It states that the private school boys chat up the state school girls, the state school boys chat up the shop girls, and the private school girls hang about. This is evidence that throughout younger ages love is still there to find, and that there are resources available and places to go to ensure it can be found. The points emphasised in the poem are portrayed through what could be a quiet teenager, admiring the work that was being played. As in the final 2 lines he states that, "I can be found at the edge of it all, drinking coffee and talking to myself." The second text I've chosen is Romeo and Juliet. I chose this text because the love shown by Romeo and Juliet is juvenile and immature, but it worked in its own way. The way they are portrayed throughout the movie is that they would do anything to be with each other. This shows the true love held by teenagers throughout society. The behaviour shown in the movie is not seen throughout older ages, portraying the central idea that love is not easily found at older ages, and the immature lengths that teenagers can reach in order to find it are not seen later on. This is why I believe that true love is easily found at a young age, but increasingly more difficult to find as age goes on. My third text I've chosen is a recent movie named Friends with Benefits. The movie focuses upon the ways in which people below the age of 25 find easier and more immature ways to create their love. The main attitude throughout the movie is that they can express their love to each other without committing to a time-consuming relationship. This is of course juvenile behaviour shown commonly throughout society. The actors begin to realise the extent of what they are doing as they grow older, portraying the notion that it is in fact harder to find true love at an older age as immature ways of gathering it become less prevalent. This is another reason why I believe that it is in fact easier to find true love at a younger age and increasingly more difficult as age goes on. These texts together have reinforced my stance on love throughout Brisbane, as they have maintained the notion that from 25 years and under, love is easily found. but increasingly more difficult from 25 years and older. Late Night Trading, being my focus text, was a publicised poem that stated juvenile school kids search for their true love through malls, portraying that it is easier for them to find their love. Also, upon my journey throughout various texts, I have gathered new information that has altered my thoughts in relation to love in Brisbane. This, of course, is the way in which the true love supposedly found in teenagers and young adults is not in fact true love, but an altered version that works. And although true love may be harder to find at older ages, the level of intensity that is involved in older relationships portrays the true meaning of love.